2026 is off to an amazing start. And there are so many textbook swing trading setups that this can literally be the best swing trading year ever. My name is Phil. I've been swing trading for the past 6 years. I'm actually the most successful video author on TradingView. And there are exactly 4 textbook swing trading setups which you can take in the near future in order to make 2026 the best swing trading year ever. Now, you might be familiar with some of those stocks, but you are certainly not familiar with what we're looking at. Stock number 1, which we're looking for a swing trade on, is actually Netflix with ticker symbol NFLX. Now, before we do any technical analysis, it's always extremely important that we determine the underlying trend of the asset. You can see that we are looking at the higher time frame, we are looking at the logarithmic chart, and if we just objectively look at the trend, also here there are a bunch of rules, but specifically looking at the trend, you can see that it's clearly from bottom left to top right. This means that we actually only want to take long positions because we are trying to trade with the underlying trend. This is where things get now extremely interesting. On Netflix, you can see that all the way back in 2002, Netflix already started to establish a significant lower green support trend line. Basically always when Netflix retested this trend line, we saw bullish confirmation on the smaller time frame, followed by a substantial rejection away towards the upside. Therefore, it would already constitute a decent trading opportunity if you just wait for a retest of this lower green support trend line, you wait for bullish confirmation, and you then try to capitalize on this continuation towards the upside. However, that's not all we can look at on Netflix. You can also see that Netflix created the previous all-time high all the way back in 2021 at this $70 level, meaning that just a simple bullish break and retest turns this previous resistance, now after the break towards the upside, into support. So if Netflix during the next couple of months actually comes back to retest this previous resistance, it would actually retest a confluence of support, and if we then have bullish confirmation, there is a very high chance that we see a rejection away towards the upside. Now on Netflix, you can also see that as we're speaking, Netflix is sitting at a minor previous horizontal support. So if here Netflix already creates bullish confirmation, you can already enter with a first initial position, potentially capitalizing on the continuation towards the upside. But if Netflix breaks this structure towards the downside, you can then wait for second bullish confirmation, fully scale into your position in order to properly capitalize on the continuation towards the upside. As you can see, we're really not overcomplicating things here, looking at the higher time frame, trying to capitalize on major moves, and this is how you can successfully swing trade. Setup number 2, and also here you are familiar with the stock but not with the setup. Second of all, we take a look at Apple. Also here, just objectively looking at the chart, the underlying trend is clearly towards the upside. So what are we even looking at? On Apple, you can see that starting all the way back in 2020, Apple created a major support trend line. Also here, similar to Netflix, always when Apple retested this support trend line, we saw bullish confirmation followed by a major rejection away towards the upside. As we can see, the last retest just happened in mid-2025, and after we saw bullish confirmation, we also took a decent long position with Academy traders, literally capitalizing on a rally of 55%, or even more if you played it with options, 55% just within a couple of months. Apple now created a new all-time high, is actually starting to create a correction, and essentially all we're looking for here is another retest of this support trend line, another bullish confirmation, and then another rejection away towards the upside. Similar to Netflix, you can also see that on Apple, this would actually kind of result in an all-time high break and retest, giving us a confluence of support at this $230 level. Yes, you have to wait for bullish confirmation. Yes, you have to properly manage risk. And yes, you still have to keep your psychology in check. But just looking at some simple technical analysis, this looks extremely valid for a continuation towards the upside. Also on Apple, here you can see higher time frame, trying to capitalize on a major move, and that's how you make money with swing trading. For the third setup, I want to draw your attention to the beautiful stock of AMD. Here, First of all, you can see that since the beginning of 2025, we saw a major rally, basically just following a beautiful retest of the support trend line, also here called live for free in this. For the third setup, I want to draw your attention to advanced micro devices. Also here, we have to start with the underlying trend, but you can immediately see that all the way back in the beginning of 2025, we saw a major retest of this support trend line, a beautiful rejection away towards the upside, which by the way, I also just shared live for free in the Swing Trading Academy. First link in the description, you can just go ahead and check it out. But if we take a look at the underlying trend of AMD since 2015, it's clearly towards the upside. Just recently, AMD created a beautiful all-time high, basically after once again retesting this upper red resistance trend line. Also here, so far totally expected, and so far AMD is clearly bearish. What we're looking at during 2026 though, and also this could set up in the very near future, is a retest of this psychological $170 level. Here you can see that already in 2024, this acted as resistance. It also acted as resistance in 2025, and now after the break towards the upside, all of this previous resistances turned support. Therefore, you wait for a retest, you again wait for bullish confirmation inside of this structure, you again have to properly manage risk, and you again have to keep your psychology in check. But then you can certainly go ahead and actually try to capitalize on this continuation towards the upside on AMD. What I would certainly avoid is a long position already right now. Yes, you can see AMD is retesting the previous all-time high, but there is zero bullish confirmation and there is zero chance for you to properly manage risk. So just wait for the clear setup and capitalize on the continuation towards the upside. AMD, definitely a setup which we have on our watch list also with Academy traders. All it takes is what I just broke down to you, and then we can perfectly capitalize on the next continuation towards the upside. Last but not least, and this is actually the most beautiful setup of 2026, is ORCL. On Oracle, you can see that specifically since end 2022, Oracle here established a major support trend line, and already a couple of months ago, in mid-2025, I called longs on ORCL, basically also here in the Free Swing Trading Academy, just breaking down why after this all-time high break and retest, we do expect this quite decent continuation towards the upside. Just looking at the underlying trend of ORCL, you can see basically since ORCL was listed all the way back in 1986, the trend has clearly been towards the upside, so we are primarily looking for longs. I already drew the support trend line, and you can see that Oracle is currently retesting this support trend line, so we could already, after proper bullish confirmation, see a rejection away towards the upside. But I specifically also want to draw your attention to the fact that we once again have an all-time high break and retest on Oracle with another confluence of support and another potential major rejection. Also here, it's extremely important that you don't immediately jump into the trade, that you wait for proper confirmation, you properly manage your risk, and you have your psychology in check. But then, if all of those criteria are met and you follow your strategy, ORCL could head for another major rally, create new all-time highs, and this already means a rally of 100% just with the underlying stock. Also here on ORCL, textbook setup, and if you then go ahead and implement some kind of leverage, so for example options, you can even over proportionally capitalize on the next move towards the upside. Now for those of you who think, well, when am I supposed to do what? I really suggest you go ahead and click the first link in the description. Join the Free Swing Trading Academy, because there you can see literally every single day I share what I'm doing live regarding my swing trading, so you can go ahead and capitalize on those setups as well. So there you have it, 4 major textbook swing trading setups, which if you follow all of the criteria, you manage risk, you wait for proper confirmation, and you have your psychology in check, and obviously your technical analysis on point, those 4 setups can make you a ridiculous amount of money during 2026. If you want to stay up to date with those 4 setups and even more, I suggest you go ahead and click the first link in the description. Join the Free Swing Trading Academy, where I will keep you up to date every single week. I will see you in my next video. Don't get caught up in all the short-term volatility, and always remember to keep your long-term vision.